What are we doing this afternoon, Mrs. Z?
Well, we're going to make whole grain muffin cake.
Whole grain muffin cake.
So that can be put either into a cake pan, which I have prepared here, or into little individual muffins.
Okay, and what ingredients do we have?
So we've got half a stick of butter, and because it's for my husband, who's into the low carb thing, we're going to have a quarter sugar of brown Splenda.
Okay, and this low carb thing works?
Well, he's lost about 20-30 pounds, so he would tell you certainly yes.
Excellent.
And then we've got, let's see, let's start with a quarter cup of oatmeal.
Did you say oatmeal?
Yeah, just the old-fashioned oats.
These are all the ingredients you will use.
These are the ingredients. I'm going to have a quarter cup of oat bran, a quarter cup of wheat bran, a quarter cup of oats, and then a third of a cup of flaxseed.
Oh, wow, interesting ingredients.
And then we're going to have some pecan halves. And vanilla essence.
It all sounds very healthy.
It is. And it's very good for your digestive system, and it's good to eat in the morning, and it helps you to stay fuller for longer. So if you grab a muffin on the go on your way to work, you can grab it with your morning cup of coffee, or you can take it with you. Eat it in the car if you're stuck in traffic, or have it at your desk when you're reading through your work emails. It's the first thing when you get in.
Yeah.
And then now you're good to go until another 4 or 5 hours. It'll keep you going.
Can you recap on what you've mixed in the bowl up to now?
Well, we got half a stick of butter,
Okay.
quarter of a cup of Splenda.
Okay.
Then we got a quarter cup of oats, old-fashioned oats, a quarter of oat bran, quarter cup of unprocessed wheat bran, and then I'm going to do a third of a cup of flaxseed. Flaxseed's very good for you, but omega-3s and all that good stuff. So we'll have a third of a cup of that, and it has 4 grams of carbs and 4 grams of fiber, so it nets out at 0. This is a negative carb
That sounds
ingredient. So, and it also, you can actually use that in replace. That's why I only have half a stick of butter, because there's a lot of oil in the flaxseed.
So what provides the wet ingredient?
Well, we're going to have an egg, 1 egg.
Okay. Just all mix the whites and the
whole
yolk,
thing.
everything.
The whole thing. Just it. Make sure it's okay. Pop that in. Give it a whirl. And then, along with the wet ingredients, let me just wash off my hands after touching that egg. Be careful with salmonella and crust contamination.
Very important to wash at all times.
Very definitely. Then we're going to have a little smidgen of pure vanilla extract to help.
Any nutmeg around?
No, I don't put nutmeg in these.
No?
Just a little smidgen of baking soda.
Baking soda.
And a little shake of baking powder. 1 X.
So what's the difference between the powder and the soda?
The baking powder acts when it gets wet, and the baking soda acts when it gets warm. So it will, once it gets into the oven.
Different functions.
Yeah, it's like a double rising feature. Now I see this would probably be perfectly fine like this, but just to add a little extra moisture, I'm going to put, you could put sour cream, but this is easier to pour. Just a little smidge of half and half.
Half and half. Little smidge, what, a tablespoon?
About a tablespoon, yeah. So then we've got a nice, fairly loose-looking mixture there. And I'm going to throw in some pecan halves. So probably should have measured that. Probably be about a quarter of a cup of pecan halves.
You put them whole, you don't,
And you don't need
crush
to
them up.
crush them up because once your cake is cooked and you cut into it,
Oh,
then
yeah.
you get bigger pieces and you actually see
More
the
texture.
yeah, there's more texture and you actually see the nuts as opposed to just having little tiny bits in there.
Now this is better than just having white flour and white sugar.
Oh,
and
there's no comparison. Absolutely no comparison. This is so much better for you. Helps with your blood pressure, cholesterol. It helps
Fiber.
it gives you all kinds of fiber. You have
Protein
no
as well?
problem. It has protein. You can, it has trace elements, all kinds of good stuff. Potassium, protein, very low on the carbohydrate scale. No cholesterol. So we're good to go. This is good to eat if you've had, let's say, a big steak dinner the night before. You have this and, whoops, and you're pretty good to go. Good thing I cleaned the top before I started out here. So here we go. This just fits rather nicely into my pan. And then you bake that for, just smooth the top a little bit. I always think the nicer things look when they go in, the nicer they're likely to look when they come out.
Exactly.
I put it on a little baking dish just because it's small and easy to get out of the oven that way. And then
What's the temperature in the oven?
about 375.
In
And
a
you
small
plug
one,
it in
too.
there. Well, I put it in a small one because I have a back problem and it's easier for me to get in and out of those things. And just bake it for about 15 to 20 minutes. And you'll know when it's done because it'll be slightly risen and a little bit crunchy on the top. And you can always put a skewer or a knife in to see if it comes out clean, then you know it's done. So we'll come back and look at that in a little bit.
So what has been happening now?
Well, let's take a look and see how it's doing. All right, here we go. Well, here it is. It's nicely risen slightly. If you tap the top,
Is it done or?
I would say it needs a little bit longer. If it gives to the touch, then it hasn't quite finished. So I'm going to give it a half turn and pop it back in for about 5 minutes. That was after 15 minutes of cooking. So I may turn it down so it doesn't get overdone on the top, and just let it cook for 5 more minutes, and then we'll come back and check it.
And how long has it been?
It's been in for about 15 minutes.
15 minutes. Okay. We will return.